It's 6 p.m. and most students are at home, having finished their classes. But here on East 3rd Street, the Air Force ROTC cadets are still hard at work in the classroom, learning lessons that will benefit them in their future careers, which are just a few months away. But it is American football that has brought Tyson far from the surf and sun of his homeland and is giving him so many opportunities in America's heartland. This new adventure of his is not without its struggles. With the events that are taking place in the world, there certainly are a lot of reminders around Bloomington, so many that, in fact, you could be driving down a simple city street and you see a sign of war.
As conflicts overseas continue, the U.S. military is stretched like never before. IU students in the Reserve Officer Training Corps know this all too well. News Forum's Steve Fullhart looks at the busy future for the next generation of America's military.
It's 6 a.m. and most students are at home, asleep. Cadets in the Reserve Officer Training Corps are not. 3 mornings a week, the Army and Air Force detachments hit the gym for physical training, part of their preparation for their futures. They're committed to their country.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
All Air Force ROTC cadets, when they graduate, they commission as officers in the Air Force and all go on active duty, meaning that they will serve in the active forces of the Air Force for a minimum of 4 years.
It's a commitment that has ever-growing implications in today's world. Currently, 250,000 American active duty service members are deployed overseas, and counting those who are already assigned to bases abroad, that total rises to 350,000. The burden has become so great, both at home and overseas, that over 160,000 members of the National Guard and Reserves, mostly Army, have been called to active duty. The totals show a growing workload, one the officers of tomorrow are well aware of today. It's 6 p.m. and most students are at home, having finished their classes. But here on East 3rd Street, the Air Force ROTC cadets are still hard at work in the classroom, learning lessons that will benefit them in their future careers, which are just a few months away. Come May of next year, these 10 cadets will be second lieutenants. The goals and desires are diverse, yet all too similar.
But I definitely want to go overseas before I die, and better yet, even before I leave the military.
I'm eager to help the operations however I can. That's kind of the initial interest I had in the military, just to be involved in sort of the U.S. interest that we have in these operations, and I think it'd be an outstanding opportunity to be able to see it on a first-hand basis.
I didn't join the military just to sit down at a desk and do surveillance or reconnaissance or, gather information, which is what I'm going to do most of the time. But I want to get up there and I want to do the exciting stuff. That's why I'm in the military, so send me. I'm ready.
I'm Steve Fullhart, reporting for WTIU News Forum.
IU diver Cassandra Cardinale is taking the year off from competing for her school in order to try and compete for her country. This coming June, she will attempt to qualify for the Olympics, both individually and with former IU teammate Sarah Hildebrand in synchronized diving events. On Tuesday, News Forum's Steve Fullhart spent a practice session with Cardinale and discussed her past, present, and future. Here now is Cassandra in her own words.
I was actually into gymnastics for a very long time when I was younger, and it kind of got too demanding at too young of an age for me, so my desire for it kind of died out. So I knew I wanted to stay in sports and athletics, so I kind of looked for another sport that was kind of like gymnastics, that had the whole acrobatic idea to it, and diving just seemed to be the easiest option. If it wasn't for my mom to drive me to practice every day before I had my license and everything, I would have never gotten as far as I have. So in that sense, that's great. And my parents are always there at my knees to support me, and they support me in everything I do, every decision that I make.
So get down your seat and jump around, jump around, jump around, jump around, jump up and get down. Jump, 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 jump.
Well, you need the the physical ability to do it, and the skills, and the strength, and the flexibility. I think the sport is much more about the mental aspect than the physical aspect. Getting up on a 10-meter platform is, oh, it's scary. It's very scary.
Going up to 10.
It's tough sometimes trying to live up to that, tradition and culture that we have here, but it's great knowing that I'm part of something this big, and we're continuing that tradition and trying to make this program as good as it can be. Sarah and I are both shooting for the 3-meter synchro team and the 10-meter synchro team. And I would love to make it individually in 10-meter. But that's very tough. We only take 2 in the country. I like to keep that positive attitude. I don't want to go into the Olympic trials and be like, I don't think I'm going to make it. I want to say, yeah, I'm going to make this. I can do it.
While it's controlled chaos for most IU football players during practice, punter Tyson Beatty usually finds himself half a field away. A football or two to kick around, a teammate or two to help him out, just going through the motions. Whether he's on the field or not, Tyson is going through the emotions of being half a world away from home.
You tend to miss home at various times when something reminds you of Australia or a particular moment. You think about the beach or some of your friends back home. But you got a great opportunity over here, so you just have to try and put that aside until you get back home.
Home for Tyson Beatty is Adelaide in the western part of Australia. A redshirt freshman, he is now in his 2nd year in the U.S. and still misses his friends and family back home. The feeling is mutual.
They miss me quite a bit because we're a very close family, and I grew up very close to my dad because he was a sportsman himself, played cricket and football, and we're just great friends as far as everything we did together hanging out.
Tyson found there to be more diversity in America than he imagined growing up. And just as with most countries, he found a different sporting culture as well.
You grow up playing the sports that your country it symbolises by, and I guess basketball in this state, that you grow up as kids playing, and it is entrenched into your culture. And in Australia, cricket and Aussie rules footy is what really symbolises our country.
But it is American football that has brought Tyson far from the surf and sun of his homeland and is giving him so many opportunities in America's heartland. This new adventure of his is not without its struggles.
There's aspects of it that have been challenging as far as being out there in front of big crowds and getting used to that type of pressure. But as it goes on, you tend to block all that out and relax a lot more.
First-time punter in this league is a difficult thing to do. I think he's done a good job with it. I think he has a lot of upside. I expect him to improve.
There you go, Tyson!
And while Tyson has a bright future on the team, he knows there may be more in his life ahead than football.
Everyone has the dream to go on and keep playing, and I definitely have that dream in the back of my mind, but I've also got an education to support that.
I ordered my tickets.
I have 2. What about you, Steve?
I've got mine. I will be there. And now that baseball season is wrapping up, it's time to get on with basketball. The madness, both figuratively and literally, starts in just a few hours' time. Good evening, everyone. The IU men's and women's basketball seasons begin very early tomorrow morning. When the clock strikes 12 a.m., the Hoosiers will take the court for Midnight Madness, the team's first practices of the season. Monroe County Councilman Scott Wells is facing charges of drunk driving, assaulting a police officer, public intoxication, and resisting arrest. But as his trial began this week, his attorneys insist he's the victim of a political setup. WTIU's Mitch Blocker reports how Wells plans to prove his innocence. While it's controlled chaos for most IU football players during practice, punter Tyson Beatty usually finds himself half a field away. A football or two to kick around, a teammate or two to help him out, just going through the motions. Whether he's on the field or not, Tyson is going through the emotions of being half a world away from home. Most current laptops and personal digital assistants are ready for wireless internet. Newer Mac and PC versions have airport cards installed in order to pick up wireless signals. The library's information staff can answer any questions regarding the configuration of laptops or PDAs.